Well, it could be long, just adjust according to what I see there.
Good afternoon, everyone. And welcome to the fellowship service this afternoon. Do we have some good smiles? Just checking. Good. And I want to thank Tamiko and Lori and Kata for the beautiful beginning. That was a lot of fun. Thank you. Let's stand and sing our opening song together. It's right on the front of your songbook, Prayer of the Child of Love.
Father, Mother God, your kingdom come, your holy will be wholly done. Spirit, source of love, you flow through me, your loving child, eternally, every day, in every way, amen. Every day, I will pray again. Father, Mother God, your kingdom come, your holy will be wholly done. Spirit, source of love, you flow through me, your loving child, eternally, everywhere, let love be there, amen. Everywhere, this my prayer again. Father, Mother God, your kingdom come, your holy will be wholly done. Spirit, source of love, you flow through me, your loving child, eternally.
Please be seated and just begin to relax for our meditation. I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. And let's take our 3 deep fellowship breaths together with an audible ah on the out breath. Breathing in. Breathe in. Breathe in. Follow your breath and drop your shoulders and leave all the busyness of the day behind as we bring our awareness to the Divine One, all that is. This all that is that moves through us, as us, into this world. We are free of the past and free of the future in this precious present moment, affirming one eternal spirit, growing brighter and stronger and wiser. We show up for ourselves and for each other with loving kindness and compassion. And we affirm each day a gift, an opportunity to release all fear and welcome new beginnings, to choose and choose again. We each have the power to change our story, to choose our story, a peaceful, joyful story. Our minds are free of resistance and open to all possibilities as we join together to radiate pure love and light. We are filled with gratitude for this time together. And we say, and so it is. Thank you so much. Special music from Tamiko, Mori, and Kata.
So we're going to do an original tune I just wrote last month in May. And we talk a lot, actually, in the meditation we just did, the precious present moment. And the song was inspired by someone who said, I'll live in the moment, but later, when I have time. So it's called This Moment. Warm sun sinks like a golden peach behind a round tower lighthouse at the far end of the beach. In the fading light you say, let's start a family soon. But our routines don't leave time to count the phases of the moon. Embrace this moment. Don't say we'll have time only after all these busy days are done. Love on this moment, it all works out somehow. And when we add up all the time we're left with now, the time is now. No time like now. The time is now. Warm bath water for little feet. So many picture books we borrowed, intending to read. the phase of asking why, and in a blink they have their answers and they're old enough to drive. Embrace this moment, don't say we'll have time, only after all these busy days are done. Love on this moment, it all works out somehow. And when we add up all the time we're left with now, the time is now. No time like now. The time is now. Warm house, quiet now all the time. If dishes can wait, we'll take a moment to unwind and dream of traveling back to the lake shore in June. We really should stop saying, well, someday soon. Embrace this moment, don't say we'll have time, only after all these busy days are done. Love on this moment, it all works out somehow. When we add up all the time we're left with now, the time is now. No time like now. The time is now. No time like now. The time is now.
Really beautiful, and a really beautiful message. Thank you so much. We're going to do a fellowship song together. So if you'd like to stand, if you're able, and turn to page 38, one of our old favorites, Spirit Am I.
Spirit am I, a holy child of God, free of all limits, safe and healed and whole, free to forgive and free to save the world. Please free to be a holy child of God. Please to my sister, who is one with me, let all the world be blessed with peace through me. This holy instant I would give to you, be you in charge, for I would follow you, certain that your direction gives me.
And please stay standing for hugs and handshakes.
John followed me though, because I was getting away. You guys stood in the corner.
I'd wait till you go up there. Pardon me? Yeah. I would wait till you go up there just to hit that.
I should turn it off.
I would turn it off right now. Just, it's minutes. It's 2 minutes. That's exactly what you do. I would put it on you right now. Corey said Bill might not get to talk with all of the...
I know it's a joyful time for all of you doing that. It's an all different perspective of joy watching. So I am very excited to hear Bill's talk today. How do we love ourselves? So let's get our pencils out and take some notes because we really want to be doing that all the time. So let's give Bill a warm welcome.
The last time I spoke, I mentioned the importance of loving yourself. And someone came up to me after the service and asked, how do you do that? So we talked a little bit, and then it came to me that that should be my next talk. So here it is. When I wrote out my notes for this talk, I had 10 points to make. I have reduced that to one umbrella point with 3 points under that. Really, when you give a talk, 3 points is good. After that, people forget, right? Yeah. So, 10 has become 3, almost 4. Anyway, so the best way to love yourself is to be yourself. To be you. Because if you have to be someone else to keep a job, to keep a relationship, is it worth it?
No.
You've all been there, right? You've done it. You kept to keep a relationship going or to keep a job or whatever, you had to try to be somebody else. And it's extremely stressful. It's painful. And that painful becomes normal for a lot of people. And it's not a normal that you want. So, be yourself. Under that umbrella, 3 points. Who is this self that you are being? Actually, it's your higher self. You are the Christ within. You are the Holy Spirit within you. That is you. That's your true identity. It's who you are in truth, because you're not your ego. You have an ego. And most of us, most people on the planet think they are their ego, but you're not. You just have an ego. The ego thinks in terms of better than or less than. So if you are your ego, you think you're better than other people, or you think you're less than them. Look at when people argue about politics or religion. Generally speaking, they think that they are better than the person who has the opposing point of view. It's all an illusion, though, isn't it? It really is. You are an expression of God. God is love. Therefore, you are love. So you don't need to seek for love or try to get love, because you already are love. So if you are being you, you are being love. And the more that you are love, the more that you have that within you, the more you draw to yourself people and situations that are loving and warm. I mean, I think I'm doing really well because I'm here with all of you. So I have definitely increased my ability to love myself, and as a result, I've attracted all of you. This loving, warm place called the fellowship, right? And you're here, and you've attracted all these people around you, so you've done some good work in loving yourself, too. Or you wouldn't be here. People that hate themselves don't come here. Here's a quote from A Course of Love. Your ego thoughts cannot long abide in the holy place of your heart. And that's true. As you become more and more love, then the ego thoughts don't fit anymore. They don't stick around. The ego separates. The higher self unites. The ego thinks that it's a Democrat or a Republican, or that it's black or white, or that it's gay or straight, or that it's Christian or Muslim. These are not real divisions. They're made up. Because if you sit down and talk with somebody who's different from you, or who appears to be different, if you're really listening, you find things that are so much the same. I've found that, haven't you? That the differences that we accentuate in this world, they're false. They're illusions. So if you haven't done that in a while, I suggest you do that. Someone who believes the opposite of you politically, or spiritually, or whatever, and just listen. And you might find some what's the word I'm looking for? Some incredible things about that person. And so knowing that you are your higher self, other people don't define you. Other people don't define me. I have lots of opinions and preferences just like you do. And I find in this world that if I question vaccines, and I'm an anti-vaxxer, if I disagree with something that the Democratic administration does, then I'm a Trumper. And if I don't like the idea of 8 and 9-year-old children being given puberty blockers, then I'm anti-trans. And if I have empathy for a woman who's had an abortion, then I'm a baby killer. It's like people like to categorize and box us in, because that way they don't have to listen. Oh, I already know who you are. You're this. And I find that that's a sad thing, because then we don't really get to know each other, because we have these strong opinions and we think everybody else is supposed to feel the same way. But everyone has a different experience. Everyone is expressing God in their own way. And yeah, people are expressing a lot of ego, and that's okay because that's where they're at. All right, that's point 1 then, that you are your higher self. Point 2, hear the call. You are called. When we were growing up, if you had a calling, then it was like you were called to be a minister or a priest. Or maybe you were called to be a doctor. It goes beyond that, though. You are called. And you're called every day. But are you listening to the call? Are you hearing it? And then are you acting on it? You're called to live your life a certain way. To serve, to create, to bless, to heal. And if you don't pay attention to the call, then you end up doing something else. So let your heart be your eyes and your ears. And let your heart be an instrument of your higher self. And the higher self, through the heart, hears only one voice and has only one source. You don't have to wait for a calling. Some people are waiting around. I don't know what my calling is. I don't know what my purpose is. Well, it's right in front of you. It's before you every day. And it's already accomplished. You don't have to strive. You don't have to accomplish anything. It's already done. Just like the proverbial oak tree that's inside the acorn. It's already accomplished. It's there. Well, your calling is already accomplished within you. So live it. Live it as if you're already accomplished. Be that. Who's the person that you want to be? Be that person. Don't make it someday. Just be that person now. So if you're not sure, then just get quiet and ask, what is my calling? And do that every day if you have to. When I was 18 years old, I was in college, and I didn't know what I wanted to do or be. So I said, okay, I'm going to be an engineer. My father was an engineer. One night, I'm lying in bed, about 5 weeks into my first semester, and I'm thinking in a different way, and the thought comes to my mind, I don't want to be an engineer. I don't want to do that. And so then I said, I want to teach. That's what I want to do. So the next day, I changed my curriculum, and I was going to be a teacher. And I got disapproval for that. I was told that I picked something easy instead of something hard like engineering. Well, that's debatable, of course. But I didn't care, because it was my life, not somebody else's who disapproved. When I wrote my first book, The Road Home, I had this idea in my mind, and I kept thinking it, and I got together with this friend of mine. I was living in Ann Arbor then, and this friend was psychic, and so she decided to do a reading with me, or we decided she would do a reading, and one of the first things she said to me was, you need to start writing that book. So it was pretty loud and clear. I heard my call, and so I did that. I have a new book out. I'll talk about that at the end of my talk. It's called The Practice of Letting Go. And I heard that call, that it's an important thing. The world is hanging on to so much crap. We need to start letting go. But then as I started writing it, I thought, it needs something else. And so I invited two of my friends, who I tend to have really deep conversations with. We were meeting monthly then for lunch, and we'd have these great conversations. All three of us had different perspectives, but we never argued. We just shared our perspectives, even when they were very different. And so I asked them to be co-authors with me. And so they joined me in this endeavor, and we wrote the book, and they got a chance to be first-time authors. For me, it's a 10th-time author, but it never gets old, because it's my calling. But calling isn't always about writing a book, or obviously speaking and things like that. My mother passed away last November, as many of you know, and in the last year plus of her life, she lived 90 miles away from me. I visited her every week because I felt called to do that. I felt called to spend that time with her, to spend the day with her, 1 day a week, every week, even though it was far away. And I didn't take it as a duty or as a have to. I wanted to spend that time with her. I wanted to be with her. And before that, I was probably going every other week for several years. And we had a strong bond, my mother and I. It didn't come out of childhood, because we didn't get along all that great when I was a child, because she was mostly nagging me. But I grew up. And I left behind my whatever mother issues I might have had back in my 20s. And she became a friend and an important person in my life at that age. So I wasn't one of those people that when I walked in my mother's house, I turned back into a teenager. I was the adult me. And we got along great. And I expressed my love to her, and I would call her on things too. And I felt totally comfortable doing that. So the calling, it doesn't have to be writing books or speaking. It could be taking care of somebody. It could be helping somebody. It could be a momentary thing or a daily thing. It could be offering healing thoughts or prayers to certain other people. You would feel it. You know what it is. Don't dismiss it as minor or not important, because it is important. It's why you're here. So that's the second one. Hear the call. The third piece, accept. Accept rather than compare or judge. Accept who you are right now, or at least who you appear to be. Part higher self, part ego, whatever. Accept. And accept how you feel, most important of all. You might have a lot of things going on in your life, some relationship issues or some physical issues, I'm not saying you have to accept those things as they are, but accept where you are right now, and especially accept how you feel about those things. So if you're in a job and you hate your job, you don't have to accept the job, accept how you feel about the job, and go from there. Because as long as you're resistant, as long as you're in denial of how you feel, then you're in conflict and you're not being you. So accept. All feelings are from the heart, from your higher self. All feelings are a message, and we need to pay attention to those feelings. They don't have to be justified, and I'm not saying for sure that you should inflict your negative feelings on other people. But you have to admit that you have them and deal with them. Anger, hurt, resentment, sadness, disappointment, they all let you know that some part of you is out of alignment with who you are. And so you can respond to that. You're not loving yourself fully if you're stuck in one of those emotional states and if you're resisting it. Joy, calm, and love, they all tell you that at that moment you are aligned with your higher self, with who you are. And enjoy that feeling. You are loving yourself in that moment. Earlier this year, I noticed I was going through a lot of negative imaginings, negative fantasies in my mind. A couple of people in my life I had some conflicts with, and I found myself bringing up these scenarios in my mind that weren't real, but I was imagining them. And of course, in the scenarios, I'm the one who's right. I'm the good one. And they're the one who's wrong, because that's how those things work, right? And I noticed it and I said, I don't want to keep on doing that. It's what a waste of my thinking time. And so I know that to just stop thinking those thoughts, you can do that, but it doesn't really solve the problem. You have to get at the feelings that are beneath it. And as I've said to you many times, thoughts do not cause feelings. Feelings cause thoughts, or rather they attract thoughts. Thoughts will feed feelings and make them even stronger. So when I get into my negative fantasy, whatever I'm feeling gets stronger because the thoughts are feeding it. But the feelings actually, the feeling state, or what's really called a feeling tone, is what causes the thoughts or attracts them. I realize that a lot of our thoughts are not really our own. We attract them by the vibration of our feelings. And so I looked at what is my feeling tone. Of course, I already know that because I've worked with that throughout my adult life. And my feeling tone that I grew up with and carried on is resentment. I remember Wayne Dyer saying, there are no justified resentments. And so I keep that in mind. And I realize that resentment comes from a place of lack. If I'm resenting someone else, I'm saying that I'm not getting enough. I'm not getting what I should get. And so that's a place of lack. So I worked with that, and the way I worked with it was to allow myself to feel that resentment, to not judge it, to not say it's wrong, but just feel it and be with it. And I did that. And it's funny, just in the last few days, I thought, you know what? It's been quite a while since I've had any of those negative stories in my mind. I'm not attracting them anymore. I'm not drawing. It's not that I said, well, I'm not going to think those things anymore. They're just not coming because the feeling state that creates them is no longer here. So I think I have, for the most part, conquered resentment. But I say that with a little bit of hesitation because every time you think you've conquered something, right, here comes something else. Oh, how about this? There are times in the past when I thought I had it conquered. All right, so the three things that I've asked you, well, before that, acceptance. So when I say acceptance, accept you as you are right now. If you see yourself as already accomplished, then there's nothing not to accept. You don't have to achieve anything because what you envision is already yours. It's like the thing in the Bible that says, ask believing you've already received. Because you have. It's in your consciousness. And so live as if you've already received. If you're wanting more love in your life, then be more loving. Be that love. If you want more prosperity, then act more prosperous. And that includes, of course, managing your money effectively. because people who are truly prosperous manage their money effectively. Accept others. Just as you need to accept your feelings, accept the feelings of others. No one has to justify their feelings to you. They feel how they feel, and it's okay. It's not about you if somebody's mad at you. It's about them, and maybe you can help them with those feelings by being empathetic, by understanding. You don't need to defend yourself. In A Course in Miracles, it talks a lot about defenselessness. It's a very powerful place to be when you have nothing to defend. The only time you have something to defend is when your ego's in charge. The higher self has nothing to defend. From your higher self, you are in a place of union and relationship. That means you see your connection to other people. You're not seeing differences, and you're not seeing distance between you and others. So, in summary, be you. Be yourself. And you can do that by recognizing that you are your higher self. You are holy. You are made in the image of God. You are an expression of God. You are love. Secondly, hear the call. You have a voice speaking to you, the voice from your heart, your intuition, the voice of God, whatever you want to call it. Listen to it. Follow it. Go with it, whether or not other people approve. And then third, accept. Accept where you are now. Accept who you are now. Accept your feelings. Accept others where they are. That doesn't mean you accept bad behavior, but you accept people in terms of how they're feeling and who they're being. You still have to have boundaries. So I have a little bit of time. I want to end with a short meditation that will get us into this place of communicating with our higher self. Many of you are familiar with this. I'm going to read this. It comes from chapter 20 in A Course of Love, my favorite chapter. It's called The Embrace. I want you to imagine that my voice is the voice of your higher self speaking to you, coming from within you. And if you could play along with me on that, I think that you'll like that and you'll get a lot out of this. So make sure you're in a comfortable position. Close your eyes if you like. Your longing now has reached a fever pitch, a burning in your heart, quite different from that which you have felt before. Your heart may even feel as if it is stretching outward, straining heavenward, near to bursting with its desire for union, a desire you do not understand but can surely feel. This is a call to move now into my embrace and let yourself be comforted. Let the tears fall and the weight of your shoulders rest upon mine. Let me cradle your head against my breast as I stroke your hair and assure you that it will be all right. Realize that this is the whole world, the universe, the all of all, in whose embrace you literally exist. Feel the gentleness and the love. Drink in the safety and the rest. Close your eyes and begin to see with an imagination that is beyond thought and words. You are no longer the object viewing the subjects of the kingdom. You are the heart of the kingdom's beauty revealed. The beloved child suckled at the breast of the Queen Mother Earth, one child of one mother, nameless and beyond naming. No eye resides here. You have given up the vision of your eyes and the eye of your ego. You are loosed of bounds, no longer a thing of beauty, but beauty itself. Thingness is over, and your identity no longer stands in form, but flows from life itself. Your beauty is the gathering of the atoms, the order in chaos, the silence in solitude, the grace of the cosmos. Our heart is the light of the world. We are one heart. We are one mind, one creative force gathering the atoms, establishing the order, blessing the silence, gracing the cosmos, manifesting the light of the heart. Here we live as one body, experiencing communion. the soul's delight, rather than otherness. It is a seamless world, a tapestry where each thread is vibrant and strong, a canticle where each tone is pure and indivisible. We have returned to the embrace. And now your arms cradle me as well, for an embrace, although it may begin with one reaching out to another, concludes with mutuality, shared touch, a melding of one into another. The embrace makes one of two. And now we begin to see with the eyes of our heart. We are no longer looking out, but looking in. All landscapes and horizons form within the embrace. All beauty resides there. All light is fused and infused within the embrace. Within the embrace, our sight clears, and what we see is known rather than understood. Here, rest comes to weariness and gently lays it aside. Time has ended, and there is nothing you must do. Being replaces identity, and you say, I am, and there is nothing outside of me, nothing outside of the embrace. You are now within the embrace, where all hurts are healed. Within the embrace, you can let all thought go. Within the embrace, you can quit thinking even of holy things, holy men and women, and even divine beings, even the one God. Is not the embrace itself holy? Is not the sunrise and sunset? Is not the least of the birds of the air as holy as the mighty eagle? The blade of grass, the fleck of sand, the wind and air, the ocean and her surf, all live by the universal heartbeat and exist within the embrace. Is not all you can imagine holy when you imagine with love? Is not all you cannot imagine holier still? Sanctity is all that exists within the embrace. How could you be less than sacred? You exist in holiness. And so it is. Thank you. This is my newest book called The Practice of Letting Go. If you notice that the cover is very beautiful, it's because Samantha did it. And she also helped with the formatting and the graphics on the inside, advising me on that. So it didn't look sloppy, wasn't a sloppy mess on the inside. She has an eye for that sort of thing. But anyway, this is by myself, Michael A. Lamaro, and John Bailey. And it's a workbook, it's a conversation. It goes pretty deep. I have copies out there. This book retails for $25, but I sell it today for $20. On my website, it's $25, but then I don't charge shipping. So it comes out about the same, you know. It's in color. And so check it out if you like out there. Purchase it if you feel called to do so. Otherwise, don't. All right, thank you.
Miguel, thank you so much. We're going to sing another, oh no, we're not. I did think about the fact that let's do that. Let's sing, because it's a perfect follow-up for this talk. So we'll just go out of order a little bit. If you turn to page 24 in your songbook, down at the bottom, it's I See the Light. And sometimes we sing this to each other, like we did last week with the song. But I'm going to just ask that you all stand and feel you singing it to yourself today.
All right.
I see the light of God in you, the light of Christ
felt good. Everyone have a seat, please. So this is the time of our service when we pause to bless our tithes and offerings, a time to fill our hearts with gratitude for all of the blessings and gifts in our lives, one of them being this beautiful fellowship community. John is going to come around with the basket, and I ask you to hold your gifts in consciousness however you provide them, and vision the fellowship as a thriving and flourishing community far, far into the future. And we'll sing while John's coming around. I am grateful.
Grateful, I am grateful. Grateful, I am grateful. Grateful, I am grateful. Grateful, I am grateful. Grateful, I am grateful. Grateful, I am grateful. Grateful, I am grateful. Grateful, I am grateful. Grateful, I am grateful.
Please join me as we read together the blessing of our tithes and offerings right on the front of your bulletin. The light of divine love shines eternally, blessing and multiplying our tithes and offerings. I joyously give, knowing I always have enough to share and to spare. And let's also take another moment to go within. Close your eyes if you like. There are beautiful, blessed children of God listed in our basket today. And I'd like to ask us all to see them not carrying around their challenges, their health issues, and their needs, but let us join together our energy in this moment to see them as who they are. Whole, perfect, children of light and love, knowing that all is well. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you. And now we have some more special music.
We're gonna do a May Early One song called Days Go By. And since we're talking about loving ourselves, you could think about this as days go by with yourself or with somebody else. It's up to you.
It's the way that you walk in a room. Your heart is a beacon, don't need a reason to love you. It's it's easy to do. I'm lost in your smile, it's been a while. Who knows what time is gonna do? All I know is a simple truth. I like watching the days go by with you. The sunrise found me with you. The light hit the window, outlined your shadow, a picture, the way that you move. All of my places left with a trace of you. Who knows what time is gonna do? All I know is a simple truth. I like watching the days go by with you. Who knows what time is gonna do? All I know is a simple truth. I like watching the days go by. I like watching the days go by. I like watching the days go by with you.
What a wonderful service today. Really nice, really nice. And thank you so much, Corey. Thank you to Miko and Kata and Maury for your beautiful music. Thank you, Bill, for the very thoughtful message. Thank all of you for being here to listen to it all and to participate with us in all this vortex of love that we have in the room and that we're getting from our virtual watchers as well. And thank you to someone else, because every Sunday we see these beautiful flowers. So thank you, Craig, for the beautiful flowers. I have a few announcements to make. This coming weekend, the 7th and 8th, we have our yard sale fundraiser scheduled, and both Deb and I have empty cars. If you have items for us today, we can put things in our cars today. We are watching the weather though, because it does appear that right now anyway, next weekend is going to be a rainy weekend. So if it pans out that way, we're going to reschedule, because it's, as Deb said, it's not fun to do a yard sale in the rain, and the people don't come out for it anyway. So, but we will keep everyone updated, and still, you know, if you have items, we'll still collect them this week, and we will still take volunteers for helping out. Let's see, that's the 7th and 8th of June 15th. That's a Saturday. We have Death Cafe at 2 p.m. here in this building. And really looking forward to Saturday, June 22nd, the Summer Solstice fundraiser that's going to be at Sue Quinn's house, our Reverend Sue. We're going to have supplied for everyone pulled pork and or chicken sandwiches, and would like to ask everyone to bring a side to share for that. We have some live music set up, and it's always a fun event. Thank you, Sue, for.
What time is it?
It's 4:30, and all the information is in your e-announcements and events on Facebook. And let's see, Healing Movements on Mondays at 4 p.m. here. And just one other thing we were wanting to ask you, if any of you are interested in a chair yoga class with Reverend Julie, just check in with her, and it would be here at this building. Date and time to be determined. She's just looking for interest at this point. So let her know, and we can get that on the schedule if there's enough interest. So let us join together in our peace circle and say our closing blessing.
Mary?
Yes.
I'd like to remind everybody, June is Pride Month, and it'd be a great time to reach out to any of our GLBTQ brothers and
Sisters, yes. Thank you, Julie.
To learn about people in history who are GLBTQ. Well,
Yes.
Come to at 22nd, I know we're having that at 4:30, but the 22nd in Old Town is the celebration and all the pride booths. And, it's good to have people there, whomever you are, because it brings the community.
That's a great idea, and we'll put that in the announcements as well.